welcome back to another episode of the Cozy Cardigans podcast vlog. Today is January 28th, and welcome back if you're a returning viewer, and welcome if you're new. My name's Melanie. I own a indie hand-dyed yarn shop called Big Little Yarn Co. You can find me on Instagram at Big Little Yarn Co. And I also have a website and a newsletter, and all that is linked down below. So today's freezing. You can see my red nose. It's really cold today. So I do things a little bit differently than the usual sit down and talk podcast that you normally see, I guess. If you're new and you're not familiar with how I've been doing things recently, I kind of just like to check in throughout the week with what I've been working on. I just find it a lot easier and more manageable for myself when I'm just kind of checking in, and you get to see my stuff as I work through them throughout the week. We'll see how it goes when I start working again. So I am planning a shop update at the end of February. I'm gonna start getting ready for it starting in the next couple of days. So we'll see how my crafting mojo is during that time. I'm trying not to be too hard on myself though, because if you don't know, I'm currently in my 3rd trimester. We're expecting a baby boy in early April. So trying not to be too hard on myself for work, but I do want to have one more shop update before I take maternity leave. And for those of you new, I am living in Hyogo, Japan with my husband Tim and with our coming baby. Yeah, it's been pretty chilly today. So let me see here. Oh, I should talk about what I'm wearing. So this is my Clove sweater by Rachel Kumihara. Let me just get up. And it's a little cropped. My belly button is somewhere down here. But I do prefer cropped sweaters, and I made it a little gradient because this is my own hand-dyed yarn. What did I use? This is my Trusty sock base held together with a alpaca suri base that I currently don't have available yet in the shop, but I had some samples of it, so I dyed it up. But it's in the wisteria colorway in the Trusty sock, and then the alpaca suri is in the shiso colorway, in case you wanted to know. But yeah, it's super cozy. Let me see. So I just wanted to show you what I've kind of been working on. This is not all my projects. I do have, like, for example, my Penguino and my DAA cardigan. I talk about those in my last episode. I don't know if we'll see how the week goes, but I haven't been working on it these past couple of days because I've been working on my test knit, and then I've also been doing some sewing, so I have that to show you as well. But let me talk about my test knit first. So this is a test knit that I'm doing for Ronja. I'll put her name and her full name and Instagram in the description box. But this is the Loimu cardigan. So I'm working on the back piece right now. You start on the top back and you work your way down. So I have one more half repeat to go. So like another set of these baubles before I start on the next set of instructions. I'm not sure what's coming next. I haven't really read it, but I love how it's turning out. Let me show you close up. It gets a little washed out when I bring close, but I love it's not cables, but it looks cable-y, but it's rib stitch, twisted rib mixed with some eyelet lace and baubles to make this really beautiful pattern. And I'm using, this is Mominoki yarns in the German Merino base. I think it's the Ochre colorway. Yeah, it's working really well together. It has really great stitch definition, so it really makes the ribbing pop. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this. So this is like my main whip that I've been working on. And then I also have, I wanted to show you how my granny stripe blanket's been going. So if you've watched my December vlogs, you know that I decided to use my Big Little Yarn Co. my own advent calendar. So I did a yokai themed advent calendar last year. A yokai is a Japanese monsters, I guess. So I decided to use my set from that I kept for myself to make a scrappy granny stripe blanket. Thought I'd show you my progress. So it's going. It's really slow, but it's been going. So I think it's hard to show the width of it. It's about my wingspan. I'm quite short. I'm only 5 feet tall. So it's not quite long enough, I feel like, for a bed, but it will be a really nice like throw. It's like a large throw sized blanket. I try to add in at least 3 different colors per row so that it has like this stripy look. And I only ball up or cake up 4 colors at a time so that I don't have 24 balls of yarn just rolling around. And then when I finish one, I just cake up another. So which is why you could kind of see like where certain colors, I finished certain colors, but I kind of like that. It's like this, I mean, I guess it's a gradient, right? It's not like a gradient that makes sense or anything, but you could kind of see how it gradients into the next, which I really enjoy. But this is kind of like my FaceTime, like if I'm talking to family or friends via FaceTime, this is what I work on. So I've been slowly chipping away at this, but it's still very short. But it's been going. And then also I finished my Roscoe blouse. So I mentioned that I showed me hauling this fabric last episode, and mentioned that I wanted to make the Roscoe blouse, and I'm almost done. I just need to add buttons and buttonholes. It's a bit hard to show because it's a bit open since there are no buttons on it. Let's see. But it's made out of this cotton gingham print, and it's not like a white and blue, but it's more like a beige and blue. It's a bit hard to tell on screen, but I did a button, what is it, like a front button hack. So the Roscoe blouse is just a blouse. It doesn't have a button band, but I added the button band. And then I also lengthened the sleeves, and then I also kind of modded it so that it would do like this pattern blocking, which I really like. So yeah, it's kind of hard to show if I don't put it on, but if I can't really fit it on with this sweater, but it's definitely more of like a springtime layering piece, I feel like. I didn't really want to make anything for winter in case, I mean, I feel like it'll still be cold for a little while, but winter's for knits, and then these longer, these shirts and dresses are for spring for me. And I also made it quite long so that it's a tunic length. So once I get buttons on this, I'll put it on and show you, but show you properly. But so I finished that, well, almost finished that. And then this is not really anything, but I hand stitched a little quilt square. This is all hand stitched. Let me scooch in. With like the scraps that I've had. I don't know, I just felt like doing it. I'm thinking maybe I'll make like a mask case. Like when you go out and you have to take off your mask because you're eating or something, and I usually just shove it in my pocket or I put it in my purse, but I think it'd be really cute to make like a little quilted mask case, and you could like put your mask in the case when you don't need it so it doesn't get dirty. I don't know. Or else I wouldn't really know what to do with it, but I do have like enough, I think, for something like that, but we'll see. It was just for fun. I thought it was really cute, so I thought I'd show you. And then I also recently finished this little baby skein. This is just a sample spin for the bat that I showed you last episode. So I did a 3-ply, just a traditional 3-ply. I wanted to figure out like the kind of spin I wanted to do with it. So it's like a little bit variegated from the bat, and I really love how it looks. So yeah, I'm just gonna use this as a little kind of standard thing that I go look at while I spin so that things stay consistent. So this is a little baby scheme. And then, so Tina T, is it C or T? She recently came out with the frequency sweater, and I'll put a picture here if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I saw that and I was like, ooh, that looks really cute. And I know that I have a ton of stuff, and I know for those of you returning that I cast on something every single week. But I mean, I haven't cast it on yet, but I am planning to, because Natasha of Northern Knits and Pearl, she recently put on her stories, like asked if anyone wanted to join her knitting the frequency sweater, and I was like, well, I was planning to anyways. And she's a lot of fun to talk to and message, so we were messaging back and forth, and I was like, okay, super pumped, let's do it. I mean, she was gonna do it anyways, but I decided to join her. Well, I am going to join her, so I wanted to show you what I am planning on using for that. So the pattern calls for one main color and one contrast color. So I decided on these. I thought these would be really pretty for like transitioning into springtime, and since it's a fingering weight sweater, it won't be as heavy. So yeah, so these are the colors. So this is sock yarn from Itobito, from Anne. She's local to me. I met her when I bought this. It was at her pop-up shop in Osaka. And this is her mocha chocolate colorway. Put it back here so it's more color correct, but it's this really warm, yeah, like a mocha, like a spicy mocha almost. color, super pretty. It's got speckles. She makes like the pretty, I love Anne's pinks and lighter colors. Like she just does it really well. And then as a CC, I have this. This is Akara yarns. This is the main, or the 100-gram skein that came with her advent calendar last year. We did a calendar trade, and yeah, so this is the 100-gram skein that came with it. This is Dendritic Agate. It was a gemstone themed advent calendar, but it's like this really simple cream, but it's also got these really pretty speckles. And I think this will make a really nice low contrast frequency sweater. I was thinking about doing something with a higher contrast, but the stitch or the color work in it is very simple, and it's very easy to see and follow with your eyes, I feel like. It's not a very intricate color work pattern where you really need to show where the lines are going and what kind of shape it's making. It's very simple and very minimalistic, I feel like. So I think a low contrast sweater would work really nicely with it. So, and I should say what base this is. So this one is a 80/20 merino, superwash merino nylon. And these are 85/15 superwash merino nylon. This one's slightly softer, but I mean, they feel, I don't really mind mixing bases or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm gonna cake these up. Will I swatch? We'll see. I'm not sure what the gauge is for the sweater pattern, so we'll see if I will. But this is my next cast on. Oops. I mean, yeah, I didn't even last a day in this vlog and I'm already casting something else. So hopefully I don't cast two things on this week, because I'm planning on starting work again, so it'll be a bit of a trouble. But I think I'm gonna work on that while I work on this. Obviously this is definitely priority because it's a test knit, but yeah, I just wanted to show you what I'm currently working on. I'm just gonna cake these guys up, and I think I will just swatch to see, to make sure that it's not like super duper low contrast, like I can't even tell. I don't think it'll be like that though, but yeah, I just want to see what the stitch pattern or the color work pattern looks like with these two together before I cast on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, talk to you later. Today is the 31st. Sorry, if I'm a little sniffly, it's super cold today. And if you do hear some construction noises, because my neighbor's doing something with their house, so you might hear that. But I just wanted to check in with you real quick with some knitting whip updates, 2, some fabric hauls. I mean, I didn't go crazy. It's just like cheap cotton stuff, but I do have quite a bit of planning, or not planning, but some plans. And a new whip that's not a knitting whip. So first off, let me show you my progress on my Loimu cardigan. Did I show this to you this episode already? But I just finished the right front, so I think the pattern tells us to, I believe, just put this on some spare waist yarn or spare stitch holders, and work on the front left. But I'm loving this so far. It's gonna look so good. I love how, I'm pretty sure it's obviously gonna be a bit of a drop shoulder, and obviously the stitches will kind of open up a little more once it's blocked. But yeah, I'm super excited about this. I've come to a point where I can pretty much, I don't really need the, whatchamacallit, the chart, the pattern chart. I don't really need to look at that anymore. I could just read the stitches and go along. So yeah, that's going quite well. And then also, side here is my current progress on the, oh sorry, my ball of yarn's all tangled. There you go. This is my current progress on my frequency sweater by tThis that I just talked about last clip, probably. So I did the first bit of, sorry, there's the construction. I hope it's okay. I'm just gonna try to finish this quickly. But here is the first bit of color work, and I'm currently doing the yoke increases right now. But yeah, it's going really smoothly. It's super fun to get to the color work bits, so I'm excited for the next part. But yeah, so that is also going. Okay, and then for some fabric hauls, so I ordered this little fabric pack. Oh my gosh, it's so noisy, I'm so sorry. And I'm gonna crinkle right now. Oh my, now they're hammering. I think I'm just gonna wait. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going because they keep starting and stopping and starting and stopping. But I got this fabric pack. This is 100% cotton. It's just 50 centimeters each, but they're from this designer called Kyle Aoyama. And this is from a Japanese site. I'm trying to see if there's like a, maybe a little, oh yeah. It's from a Japanese site called Nunokoto Fabric. And so it's kind of like one of those sites where people, surface pattern designers can put in their designs, and then you could order whatever type of fabric you want printed on. So I got like a cotton sample pack by this designer, and there's avocados, and it's like these watercolors. This really pretty lavender blue flower, and then there's these little gemstones, and then these bright yellow lemons. So what I'm planning on doing with these is using them to make little like project bags, like very simple non-zippered ones, because zippers are scary to me still, but that's the plan for these. And also like just kind of like going out kind of bags, because I thought it would be nice to kind of use them as like eco bags for when I go shopping. And I also got this. I don't remember who the designer is, but this is on a meter of canvas, but I love this print. But it's got, it's like a crafty print. It's got, you know, embroidery thread, just regular thread, pins, scissors, and then there's also, let me see, there's also some skeins of yarn on there and some knitting needles. Yeah, it's a really cute crafty pattern, and I wanted to make kind of like a sturdy craft box out of it. Sorry, a sturdy craft box out of this. This with some black canvas, I think would be really cute to have. So I've got these to make some project bags slash storage stuff for myself. And then another little fabric haul that I did was I was awake. Well, the reason why I got this haul just yesterday actually was because I was wide awake, third trimester, couldn't sleep at night, kind of just scrolling through Instagram kind of thing, and I kind of got stuck in the rabbit hole of quilts, and I've never quilted before, but it has intrigued me for a really long time, and I never really had a reason to make myself like a sample quilt just because I didn't know any children. But now that I'm pregnant, I feel like more inclined to try a baby-sized quilt. So I did find a free pattern online by Toad and Sew, and it's their, I think it's called the Welcome Home quilt. That's the big actual size quilt, but they also have a free baby-sized or crib-sized quilt pattern that you can download once you sign up for their newsletter. So I went ahead and did that, and I got some fabric for it. So let me show you. So I'll put a picture up here of what the quilt looks like, and I've already started cutting the pieces out. But here are the colors that I chose. So there's this there's like one big kind of contrast square in the middle, and then it kind of grows outwards from that square. So this is the contrast square in the middle. It's just this rusty red color. And then I'm also combining that with this dark navy blue, light blue, and then this kind of like mustardy green. I want to say it's not mustard yellow, it's not really green, it's kind of in the middle. I really like it. So these are all going in the quilt. I really like this color combo. I think it'd be really cute for a baby. I think for any, no matter what kind of girl, boy, whatever, it would work either way. Very gender neutral. And then obviously the white for the background. So this was quite inexpensive. Like I thought, well, I'm sure a quilt, a full-size quilt would definitely cost a lot more, but this is all 100% Japanese cotton. And I just got it all at the craft store for like 25 bucks, 25 US dollars, which is really cool. And I still have like scraps left over. Like I bought enough to have many scraps left over, so I'm hoping that I could possibly use some of those scraps to use along with maybe these, if the colors match, to use for my own project, so that would be nice. But yeah, so I've been cutting the pieces. It's my first time cutting them. I've been really careful, but so far I've actually been really enjoying the cutting process, weirdly enough. Like I really like just tedious work, and cutting quilt pieces is really tedious, like really tedious work. So I've been really enjoying that actually. So yeah, I still have to cut, only cut 2 colors, so I still have to cut these 3. So I'm gonna be doing that today. And yeah, so now I'm like stuck in this quilting hole now. So now my test, it's like, I was working on my test knits last night, but I think today's just feels like a quilt piece cutting day. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the flow. Tomorrow and Wednesday are Tim's days off, so I'm probably gonna be out for most of the day, maybe, because it's also Tim's birthday on Wednesday. So maybe you'll see that. And then starting on the 3rd, I'm planning on going back to work, starting work. So I'll be dyeing yarn. I'm not sure how I'm gonna film that, or if it's even interesting. Maybe I'll have some clips, but I'm definitely gonna have less crafting time than I used to, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's my update. Sorry for all the noise. Hope they finish soon, but yeah, I'll see you later. Just another quick little update. Today is January 3rd. Should have seen some clips of me and Tim going out. Yesterday was Tim's birthday, so we went to Kobe. But yeah, I got a couple things too, even though it wasn't my birthday. So I wanted to show you those, and then also you might have seen, so this is like way later after the fact, but if you are following me on Instagram at Big Little Yarn Co, you would have seen my story about seeing the Stitching by Color shawl, yeah, by Stephen West. And so I saw that shawl and I thought it looked so much like, it looked like so much fun to knit. But as you know, I have a lot of whips. So I was just thinking about it and thinking about it. And then I had a dream about it, that I was knitting it. So yesterday when I woke up, I went to my yarn stash and I pulled out these colors that I thought would be really good, and I pulled it out and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to cast on. But I was like, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I shouldn't cast it on, maybe, yeah, maybe another cast on would be too much. So I did an Instagram story and asked people who followed me, or asked my followers, if I should cast it on or if I should finish a whip first. And 71% of you said that I should just cast on. So thank you for enabling me. And for the other, 29% of you, thank you for trying to help me make responsible decisions. But I'm sorry I didn't listen to you, so I kind of casted something on. But, you know, as we all know, it's not a Cozy Cardigans podcast if I don't cast something on, right? But I think I've already used that excuse for the frequency sweater. So yeah, well anyways, let me show you the color palette. So it's still like a little baby. We got home not super late, but kind of late, and I was really tired, so it's not like I got a ton done, but I did get it's just a I-cord cast on, so here it is. But let me show you the color palette that I have. So the pattern calls for 2 skeins of the main color, and I'll put a picture up so that you can see it while I talk about this. But so the pattern calls for 2 skeins of the main color and then 1 skein each of 5 contrast colors. And he recommends that the 5 contrast colors kind of be like, not like a fade, but from light to dark. I think one of his samples is kind of like a fade for the CCs, and then the other sample is not so much of a fade. But mine is a fade. So this is my main color. This is my own hand dyed. This was a sample that I just made up. So this isn't available in the shop yet, but this, I think I'm still not sure what the name is, but I really like it. It's like this barely there dove gray. It looks kind of white on screen, but it's like this very cool light gray, and it is so good with a ton of colors. Like it would be really great for like a color work yoke or something like that too. But this is like a really great basic, like not basic, but like all around great for everything tonal to have. So I'm using this as the main color. And then for the CCs, I took some stuff out of my stash, which is good. I'm using up my stash. So this, sorry, the balls are so ugly because I originally used a couple of these to knit the Stephen West MCal from 2019. Yeah, so I frogged it because I wasn't liking how it was looking. So some of the balls are kind of ugly. But this is E.T. from my Halloween collection. I really like this. I should bring it back. I should just rename it. But yeah, it's just this variegated light blue with some dark greens and some peaks of like the lighter gray. Kind of goes really well with this. So this is the first contrast color. Second one is this really deep stash, super old. This is one of my first hand dyed yarns. Sorry, the ball is so crazy, but this is one of the first hand dyed yarns I've ever made. It's just this navy blue. So that's the second one. third contrast color is Coraline. This is another super popular Halloween collection colorway. I've brought it back the 2 years that I've had Halloween collections so far. I'll probably bring it back again this coming Halloween as well, but this is another super popular colorway. So this is Coraline, and this is kind of inspired by the tunnel that she goes through to get to the other mother. But there's that. Fourth contrast color is another Deep Stash. This is one of my first hand-dyed yarns, again from like way back. No idea what the recipe is, but it's kind of like Coraline, but much more darker. If I go back, it's a lot more purpley and darker than Coraline. And then the last contrast color is from Grenouille, from Grenouille Co's 2021 advent calendar. So from last year, this is their main scheme that was included in the advent calendar, and this is Wolfsbane, I believe. Super pretty. So it's like this dark brown, and it has these bits of like dark purple navy inside of it. Super nuanced, but yeah, super pretty. Let me see if I can. So this is kind of like the fade order. So he recommends a fade. Let me see if I can hold it all together. There you go. So this is the fade. How could I not cast this on? I had to. With this, like this goes well with every single one of these colors that this guy. So I'm so excited to knit this, and it's a modular shawl wrap, and I was looking for a shawl / wrap pattern that kind of was more long rather than triangular, if you know what I mean. So this this particular shawl pattern is kind of like this long U shape, and I really like that. So because I didn't really, I mean, I do like triangular shawls a lot, but I find that the triangle bit for me is like not, I always end up bunching it up into like a scarf shape before I put it on, if you know what I mean. So I thought that this pattern would be absolutely perfect. So the pattern also calls for a size US 2 needle. I mean, no, a size US 3. The thing is about Stephen West shawls is that they're gigantic. And then also a thing about me is that if I don't have needles, I try my best to not have to buy them. I don't know why. Mostly because I like ChiaoGus, and the ChiaoGus here are kind of expensive because I'm in Japan right now. But I ran out of cords for my interchangeable needle set, and I didn't want to take out any from my current whips because I have so many. So I was thinking about it, and Stephen West shawls are always gigantic on me, like always super huge. So I went ahead and sized down to a US 2, and I figure like it's not, I did a little mini swatch to see how thick the fabric would be compared to a US 3 if I were to use a US 3, and it's not too much of a difference. And also I think it'd be really nice for it to be a little more compact than the original size. I'm guessing it would probably be, according to my little baby swatch, it would probably be about 80%, not 80% smaller, it would be 80% of its actual size, which is good for me because I'm really small. I think Stephen West is a really tall, like he looks really tall in his photos. I'm not sure how tall he is, but he looks really tall, and I'm very small, and it looks big on him. So I'm guessing that from my experience of knitting Stephen West patterns, Stephen West shawls, that this shawl is going to be gigantinormous. So the smaller it is for me, the better, because then I just won't be engulfed in like this blanket shawl. So it'll be a little bit more wearable for me, hopefully. So I am using US 2, but I'm just following the instructions as written. So it'll be a little smaller, but I'm pretty sure that it'll end up being like good. So yeah, that was my very long ramble about my new cast on. So I'm going to be working on that today, because today I'm actually going to be dyeing yarn for the first time in 2 months or so. I'm going to be getting ready for my next shop update, which will be on February 27th. I'll show you, I'll be putting out more information about what's available, and like the times and stuff like that. It'll probably be on the 27th at 10 a.m. Japan Standard Time. But yeah, if you are interested in my shop update, you can always sign up for my newsletter or follow me on Instagram, because that's where I put all the info, and the links for that is in the description box. But let me show you what I got yesterday in Kobe. So I went to a couple fabric shops and like fabric notion shops in Kobe, because we had a little bit of time to spare before our dinner reservation. So let me show you what I've got. So the first thing I got is this, just like this fabric sample. This is from a shop called, just a sec, Check and Stripe. It's this Japanese fabric slash, they also write books and things like that. So it's like a, not just a fabric company, but like a sewing, all around sewing company, but they do make their own fabrics. So I got this little 50 centimeter sampler of this, because I wanted to put this together with, hold on just a sec. With this, I wanted to put these together to make a little bag. I think that'd be really cute. I think it goes really well together. These lemons. So I got that. And then I also got, planning on making like a linen shirt with a button in the back for my son. So he's got this little, they had these little animal buttons. So it's this little crocodile. So cute. So I got that as well. So that was the first shop. And then the second shop, they specialize in vintage fabrics and notions. So I got, and they also make their own fabric as well. So this isn't vintage, but this is their own fabric. It's a shop called Rotto, R-O-T-T-O, in Kobe, if you're ever interested. But this is a cotton linen fabric, and it has this really cool, it's like almost like tie-dyed, but it makes like a grid pattern, almost like shibori maybe, but not really, because it's not, I don't think that's how they did it, but it makes this really cool grid pattern. And I thought I got enough to make like a summer tank top or like a short sleeve. So I've got that. And then I also got these. So I saw these vintage, sorry, some crinkling. So I saw these vintage glass leaves. So let me show you. So this is Japanese vintage glass or antique. And then I'll put like maybe a little picture of like a better close-up of what they look like. But these are vintage Japanese glass, and I really wanted to make stitch markers out of these and maybe put it together with some yarn for the shop update. I have very little, a very small amount. I couldn't get that many because they are vintage and they don't have that many in stock. I also wasn't sure if anybody would be interested because I've never had vintage glass bead stuff. I've sold stitch markers before. I've made clay stitch markers for my bento collection a while back, but never glass beads. So let me know if you're interested in Japanese vintage glass stitch markers, because I think that's really cool. I want to keep it for myself, but I only have a few, so I feel like maybe I should just sell it. So hopefully that'll be available in the next update as well. But yeah, that is what I got, and I'm gonna go get started on dyeing yarn. So maybe I'll put some clips of that. I don't know. But yeah, so today is a little busy because I'm working. So I'm probably not going to have, well, we'll see how much, how many updates, or like not how many updates, but like how much I'll get knitting. Oh, I have one more thing. I've also been working on another whip, but like not a knitting whip. It's a quilt for my baby. So I've been doing these quilt pieces. I think I've shown you the colors already, but these are them all together. Let me see if I could find one where all the colors are together. So I've been making the quilt pieces. So I worked on this yesterday. Probably work on it during the evenings. But yeah, these still all have to be ironed, so very wrinkly, don't mind the wrinkles. But I'm almost done with making these types of rows, and then I have to put them all together. Honestly, this is my first quilt like ever, so I'm not an expert, but I am really excited. I love how the colors look together, like the dark blue and the light blue, and then this like grungy green. Yeah, so I'm working on that as well, but not really a knitting whip. But that's going on in the background. Just been chipping away at him, not in a rush. He's not going to be here for a little bit longer, 2 more months. So yeah, so I'm going to be working today and knitting on my new shawl. So yeah, hopefully things don't slow down too much for you, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna get going. I am back with a little update for you. So yesterday I had a little day off with Tim, so I didn't dye any yarn, and I also didn't really get too much knitting done just because we were FaceTiming with family and things like that. So well, I guess I got some crocheting done. I got a bit done on my crochet blanket, which I will show you. But yeah, I just wanted to update you on my whips. So let me see. Sorry, I'm just gonna, oh, sorry I shook you. But let me update you on my whips that I have been working on these past couple days. So this is the Loimu cardigan. So I'm stuck on this actually. So I was working on this pretty, not exclusively, but like the most. I've been working on this one the most for the past couple of days. This is a test knit, so the pattern, you know, can have things that are incorrect, and I think I found one, which is, so I finished the back and then the right front and the left front. So you connect them together. So this part's separated, obviously, because it's a cardigan, but you connect the fronts and the back together. So I went ahead and was doing that, but got stuck right here because I found that the pattern repeat, or the pattern repeat, there should be, it's kind of hard to explain, but there should be I think 8 stitches of this ribbing. So this ribbing is going into this lace bit right here. It would be like right here, but there's lace, and then there's lace with no ribbing in between. So it's missing 8 stitches, or it's 8 stitches off, which means that this bit here, this right front, is 8 stitches shifted, if that makes sense. So in the pattern, she had us start the shoulder at a certain place on the chart, and I think it's 8 stitches shifted because, one, I feel like it would only make sense if so at first it's not symmetrical, is what I'm trying to say. The place that's the stitch number that I started here is the same here, but it should be the same here, if that makes sense, so that it looks more like a mirror image. And that way, because the back obviously is a bit like a mirror image within itself. I hope this is making sense, but because the back starts and stops at like what a mirror image would be, it would make sense that the front would do the same. But when I was following the instructions, I didn't realize that the stitch here wasn't here, it was actually here. So you could see that there's 2 ribbing bits here, but the ribbing should be here. So this is off. I wish I could squeeze in 8 random stitches in, but 8 is too much. And obviously the stitch count would be wrong anyways. So what I'm gonna have to do is rip back this front bit, which is a little sad, but it's gotta be done. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? So yeah, that was a little sad when I found out, but I mean, that's part of test knitting, you know, because the pattern's not, sometimes people miss things and people are human, so, which is okay. That's part of the test knitting process. So I'll be giving feedback on that. But yeah, I mean, I really like it. Like I'm gonna finish it. I don't want to, like, obviously it would be a bummer for the designer if I just dropped out anyways, but anyways, I would still want to finish it. So although it was a bit disappointing, I'll do it again. It's fine. So I'm just trying to find some strength to rip this bit back. Yeah, so there's like some shoulder shaping that you have to do, and then you knit for 3 repeats, I believe. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it's not too hard to rip back. I'm glad I don't have to rip back the whole thing, because I did, the pattern calls for a, what do you call it, provisional cast on, so I'll just go back to that and it'll be fine. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do that. That'll be something to do tonight. I won't think about that during the day. And then, I don't know, I forget how much I had, but I got a little bit done on the stitching by color shawl. Can you see my breath? It's like so cold today. I haven't turned on the heater up here because I'm gonna be downstairs working, so I'm just like trying to live with it. But anyways, yeah, so this is the Stitching by Color Shawl, you know. So that's going. I mean, it's super fun. I love it so far. It's only like this little bit, but so far I love it. So that has kind of been an upstairs knit as well. Downstairs I'm working on the frequency sweater still, but I haven't been getting too much done because I'm working, so I've only been knitting like 3 or 4 rows a day. So I'm still on the increases, so there's not much to show you, so I didn't bring it, but I'll bring it next time. And then also another thing I was working on while I was off yesterday was this. Ta-da! So for those of you who quilt, you may see a bunch of mistakes, but please ignore them. This is my first bit of quilt top. I'm still working on it, so this is the center. So I'm making a quilt for my baby. And yeah, I love the colors so far. So here's the color combo. Yeah, I really like how the colors are turning out together, which I'm really glad because I've never made a quilt before. But if you look really closely, should I show you? There's like some corners that are not aligned and it's super wrinkly, like here where the stitches are kind of uneven. Yeah, quilting is really, really hard. So this is called the Homecoming Quilt by Sew and Toad. I'll put the info down below. But this is the free pattern. I think I've already talked about this. This is the free pattern that comes in their newsletter if you sign up. It's just like a baby size quilt. So I still have a bit more to go, but I wanted to show you this. Very proud. So I was working on that most of yesterday, which is why I didn't get like a ton of knitting done. And then I also wanted to show you some yarn that I will have in my next shop update. So my next shop update is going to be on February 27th at 10 a.m. Japan Standard Time, which is, oh shoot, I think it's 5 p.m. Not 5 p.m. Yeah, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. So that will be my last ready to ship shop update before I take off for maternity leave. Sorry, it's so cold. But I had some dry skeins to show you, so I thought you'd like to see. But this is one of the colorways that'll be available. This is Wisteria, and this is the colorway that I used for my clove sweater. If you've seen that, maybe I could put a picture up. That's like the main color that I used along with a Surrey alpaca, but I really want to make another sweater out of just this because I love the speckling in here. But yeah, so this is Wisteria. And then I also made a new colorway. This is Eucalyptus. It's this very light, I don't want to say pastel, but it's just like this muted light green. And it goes really well together with Wisteria, I think. I'd make some kind of like shawl out of this. This would be really pretty. But yeah, this is like a really classic tonal. But so these two will be available, and I'm still currently obviously dyeing yarn for the rest. So I think as I go, I'll start showing you what I've got. But so if you're interested, you can follow me on Instagram at @BigLittleYarnCo. And I also do have a newsletter that I send out before each update with like just filled with links, so that you could just click on a link and go straight to the listing so that you can check out faster, because it's ready to ship and So stocks are quite limited because, you know, I'm pregnant and I can't dye as much yarn as I want to. So I do highly recommend one of those options if you really want to snag something, because yeah, stock is pretty limited. So yeah, I think that's it so far. I'm gonna go start work now. Oh, I should talk about what I'm wearing. This is the Chalet Day sweater by Samantha Guerin. I talk about this quite a lot, I think, in my December, kind of beginning of January episodes. It's the main colorway is Catfish by Ken Yarn, and then the CC is Nitpicks Straw Fingering on Merlot Held Double. It's a worsted weight sweater, so it's quite warm, but I'm still cold. And for those of you who are wondering, yeah, I do wear my hand-knit sweaters while I dye yarn because it's super warm and I feel I don't really get too much dye on me when I dye yarn. I'm quite careful. Watch me spill something on myself now because I said it, but knock on wood, I'm quite careful. So I don't really spill too much on my sweaters when I dye yarn, knocking on wood. But yeah, so I'm gonna go get dyeing now and I'll talk to you when probably tomorrow morning. It's kind of nice to start the day off with a little chat with you. So yeah, I'll talk to you later. Hi everyone, it's gonna be my last little bit for this episode. So I just wanted to update you on my whips, and also I got a couple things in the mail, so I thought you'd be interested in that as well. So first, my whips. So the cardigan, the Loimu cardigan that I was talking about last clip, I guess. So I did rip out it looks like a bit of a mess right now, but I did rip out the front right, so I'm currently reworking it. I just have like another repeat, I think, to go before I can continue on, so it wasn't too bad. It didn't take too long, I think, because in between the left front and the right front I kind of figured out like memorized the stitch pattern and everything, so it's going really quickly, which is good. So I'm almost done reworking that, so hopefully next time I talk to you it'll look more cardigan-y rather than a sack. But so that's going. And then I wanted to show you my progress on my frequency sweater. They're on kind of small cables right now because I ran out of longer cables, so it's like a bit squished. But I'm currently on the second bit of color work for my frequency sweater, so you can kind of start seeing it peeking out here. So this is the, did I talk about it this episode? Frequency sweater by tThis. Main color is Itobito, Mocha chocolate, and then, which is this, and then the contrast color is Akara Yarns Dendritic Agate, which is from her 2021 advent calendar. So that is also going. This is kind of mostly, I'll probably, I don't know. I want to finish the Loimu cardigan first, the one I just showed you. And then after I finish that, I want to finish my Amara sweater that I've kind of put on hold. And then once I finish that, I want to finish this. So that's my whip order. But I am still working on the my other like satellite whips, like my DAA, my Pinguono, and my color stitching by color shawl. Yeah. So those are like still on the needles, but I haven't been working. I've only like put in like a couple rows here, a couple rows there, so there isn't really much to show. So I decided to just show you these guys, but I love how, let me do a little close. I love how these two look together. Yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with the short sleeve version, make it like a little more spring summer friendly because it is a fingering weight sweater, but that is also going. And so I also have a few yarn mail pieces to show you. So my last installment of the Elan, what's it called, Soft Nights Club came in. So this is it. This is, I don't know if there's a name. Oh, it's called Full Circle. It kind of gets blown out a little bit when I come a bit closer, but it's like this kind of murky sea green almost, and then it has, sorry, I'm trying to like let it, will it, I don't know if it's gonna focus, but it's got bits of blues, like dark blues, mostly sea green, and it's more color correct when I take it out back here, but it's like this really nice moody dark green. I really like it. And it also came with this sleep balm. It smells really good. It smells like, it's like lavender, and it's so soft, and it is really nice for right before you go to bed. So that's nice. I really like the like add-ons that they put in inside the clubs. I've enjoyed every single one of them so far. I also have, this is what came with the second one. It's a candle. It's like it's called Salt Marsh, Muskmellow, Violet, and Cedarwood. But this smells really nice. I've been putting it on my desk as well. But I've really enjoyed this installment of clubs. I signed up for a different club for the next 3 months. I signed up for the, not with Elan, but with, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Put the name down here, but then I don't know why I'm blanking on the name, because I like signed up for the club, but I'm looking forward to her clubs this time around for the next 3 months, and we'll see what happens after that. But I do really enjoy getting the mill yarns from Elan. And then I also got sweaters quantity from, there's this online shop here in Japan called Yarnaholic, and they bring in yarn from around the world from indie dyers. And so this time, this little update was with Less Traveled Yarns with their like their plaid kind of collection. So got myself some yarn. So this is again Less Traveled Yarn from their plaid or like checkered collection, if you are familiar. This is their picnic plaid colorway. Oh, it's called Definition Collection. Sorry, I totally called the collection the wrong name. Picnic Plaid Definition Collection. And this is on their Paloma fingering base, which is 90% superwash, super fine merino, 10% silk. So that's the first time I've had this kind of blend. It's really soft, obviously. I'm excited to kind of see how it knits up, but I'm thinking like a light cardigan or a light sweater, obviously. But there's these really pretty speckles. It's like very me, very moody. It's got some variegation. I really do like the like burnt coppery speckles though. So I got this in the mail. That's going in my yarn collection. Very exciting. But yeah, so that is that. I have the next couple days off, which is nice. Let my body rest. So hopefully I'll get some knitting done during that time. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this episode. I'm not sure how long this ended up being, but if it's super long, thanks for watching if you're still here. And I hope you enjoyed. Excuse me, sorry. Please let me know what you've been working on while you have been watching this episode, because I really do like reading all your comments and seeing what you've been working on. So yeah, I think that's it. See you next time. Bye.